Mining can create jobs, and mining can generate wealth, but it cannot and must not do so at the expense of damaging the very environment that produces the riches.
Some of us are complicit, we are benefiting from it, and some of us, we know, we just keep quiet and suffer quiet.
Time ago, it caused a harm to a lot of people, but because of we not getting it in doing as our job, that is why we are still doing this.
I can't buy excavator, but the ministers and the MPs, you can do that. So we are saying,
Destruction for gold.
On our way to Tano, we saw some of the equipment. They've been used to block entry into the mining sites. They've intentionally blocked our entry into that part of the forest using this excavator to block the entry, but our driver is trying to weave his way around it so we can go to the other side to witness the devastation to that part of the Tano River. And I have to find my way as well through this mud. Helping gear. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so luckily he's been able to weave his way around it, and we are on our way again. At Tano village, about 60 kilometers from Samreboy, we saw similar mining expeditions within the banks of the Tano River. There is no buffer or space between the Tano River and the mining operations here as stipulated by law. The river receives the residue of water pumped out of the pits nearby. The pollution stretches deep, eating a larger part of the riverbank and adjoining forest, threatening the very lifeline of this green ecosystem. Out of helplessness, the opinion leaders of Tano invite me to a small meeting to share their concerns.
The
River Tano was our major source of drinking water, but it is now polluted by illegal miners. Luckily, we still have some swamps and small water sources we drink from and use for cooking.
This is Atala. The farming community has been negatively impacted. Irresponsible mining has left these communities with polluted water sources and farmers begging for boreholes.
The river is polluted and the miners are in the process of destroying the few tributaries as well. It is creating hardships for us when it comes to getting water.
None of the revenue from the mining activities here goes into developing the communities. This is the CHIPS compound, which serves the health needs of over 10 villages within this enclave. The single-room structure, manned by a nurse, lacks the basic tools for healthcare delivery. Let me say this is the health facility or clinic for the entire Ohiampenika community, full of over 500 people. Now, there are other villages that depend on this facility as well. In here, we have a modest equipment. There is no equipment. I mean, this is the one they use to check your BP. They have a computer which is sitting here nicely, but unfortunately, the whole community doesn't have electricity. So this is a white elephant. They have a thermometer, and they have another thermometer gun there. Basically, that is it. And if you look here, this is their female recovery room. It only has a bed, and that is it. And quite a stock of medicine here. Few
medications, at least basic medication, that malaria medication and other things that you can find here.
During emergencies, patients are carried on motorbikes over 50 kilometers to the nearest health center at Samreboy.
Moving out from here to Samreboy is about 1.5 hours to Samreboy. So, for instance, if a woman is on labor, you can see the circumstance above it, you know. So we are facing that challenge here. It's a big challenge that we are facing here.
Almost all water sources within this forest have been destroyed. The residents rely on the few sources left. Local leaders are helpless against these miners who have the backing of very powerful people. The chief of Ohiam Penika, Yoko Samuel Donko, himself a farmer, says traditional authorities are helpless in the face of the destruction.
Illegal miners have taken over my farm. When I went to the farm today, I counted 35 people and heavy equipment mining on the farm. When I confronted them, they showed me equipment they claim gives them power to mine there. I ensured they stop all the machines, but I know they will come back in the night.
Many of the miners here do not have the requisite permits. Those who do use them in undesignated areas, concessions not covered by the permit, a development acknowledged generally by Chairperson of the Minerals Commission Board, Barbara Otenjasi.
They have the license to mine, but are they mining where they have been licensed to mine? Very often, they undertake haphazard operations because they don't know where the ore is. So they commence the activity from point A. When they don't get anything, they move to point B, point C, and so they devastate a large area. So we have taken it upon ourselves as a commission to partner with the Geological Survey Authority, and they are conducting investigations to determine the mineralized areas where small-scale miners as well as the community schemes can be undertaken.
On our way from Asankregwa, we saw this highly polluted stream. These two men who are responsible for the devastation here confirm that they do not have any permit. They mine for their own survival and those of their dependents. As news of our fact-finding trip to polluting sites of the Tano River spread out, we learn of a swoop on some illegal miners there, led by the Deputy Lands Minister, Mrekuduka. But whilst the Deputy Lands Minister, Mrekuduka, leads soldiers on crusades elsewhere, his hometown, Dompim, is active with one of the worst impacts of irresponsible mining we've seen on our trail. Almost all major water bodies in the western regional town have been destroyed. Not even this sign, strictly prohibiting even government-sanctioned community mining here, will deter miners from eating deep into the Taboom forest. Valleys hosting valuable streams, the lifeline of the forest, have been redirected and highly polluted.
This beautiful natural resource you see is the Taboom forest. Now you can see how illegal mining has eaten portions of it. And if you drive through to other ends of it, there are miners in there who are currently eating deep into the forest. Now look down here, you can see the natural resource, the streams that give life to the natural resource here, the trees and other things, has been so polluted from upstream here. And that is how illegal miners are raping the country's forests.
The road leading to the forest is dotted with marks of a haphazard, irresponsible mining, destroying cocoa farms and livelihoods. The second day at Dompim took us to the Patahon forest. Our bird's eye view gives a vivid capture of the pollution of the river that traverses this forest. huge pits left by earth-moving equipment and the continued pillage of the leftovers by the youth who sit with water-polluting champagnes is shocking.
So very active mining going on within the Pompano forest, close to Dumpim in the western region. The river Nui has been blocked in two, and you can see the miners over there actively mining this resource. Is this legal?
It's illegal.
But you're doing it anyway.
Because of we don't have anything to do as our permanent job. That's why we are doing it. Because this very engine that we are using used to cause a harm to a lot of people. A time ago, it caused a harm to a lot of people. But because of we not getting anything doing as our job, that's why we are still doing this.
Here, we find a number of excavators clearing the riverbed in the middle of a large pool of residue and devastated forest cover. The people here will not tolerate our visit nor speak to us. But we are told that this irresponsible mining activity is sanctioned by a number of powerful people. The River Nui is no longer identifiable from the pits that fill this valley. These muddy-looking men and women represent unemployment, the struggles of youth, and the determination to do anything to survive, including participating in this illegal gold mining activity here.
There are no jobs in town. If you don't give us jobs, Galamsey is what we will continue to do.
That has been a very big major problem for me.
A worried chief of Dumpim, Nana Nwapenyin IV, says he's helpless in the face of rising illegal mining in the area.
It is very, very serious. All the river bodies in the various places you are talking of. There were rivers that we could fetch and then drink those days. But for now, you saw some yourself. It is very bad. Before you get there, then they've bolted away and you'll not see them again. The next time you see them, you hear that they are at the Trebon forest. You dispatch men to that place, you go and then they are not there. So it is very hard to monitor their activities.
The River Nui and other highly polluted rivers and streams at Dumpim link other water bodies like the Bonsa close to Takwa in the western region. We took samples of the polluted Bonsa River where we meet this farmer who has lost a large part of his cocoa farm to illegal mining.
I'm a pensioner, but after my pension, I did not get any benefit from the work I did. So I tried to make a farm. I was able to make about 6 acres of cocoa farm. But because of the Galamsey, when they saw that there's money inside in the land, then they started to destroy the farm. So it left my few of the cocoa farm there that I'm just protecting it.
He questions why the fight against irresponsible mining seemed to elude the area, though the deputy lands minister hails from there.
It's over to him. So you have come here and you see what is going on. You have taken the sample of the water. You can't get him even inform him that this is what is happening. He's at Accra. Anytime he comes here, he go to Takwa, the district capital, and then you go. You don't visit us so that we can tell him our problems.
The Bonsa River has lost its former glory, reduced to a dirty, milky-looking water source flowing through the western region. Turbidity is considered as a good measure of the quality of water. It is a measure of the degree to which the water loses its transparency due to the presence of suspended particles. At a just-ended dialogue on small-scale mining organized by the University of Energy and Natural Resources, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Ben Ampoma, gave a damning report about the pollution levels in the Bia and Tano rivers.
If you take our water resources, we benefit from the water in terms of inflows. That's about 70%. But if you take the Bia and the Tano, they are also transboundary. And we share with Côte d'Ivoire. Now, if you look at even if you take the Tano, it flows into the Abbey Lagoon, which obviously we share with Côte d'Ivoire. And if we pollute, the lagoon species in terms of the flora and fauna are basically affected. And that's not only affect Ghana. It affects Ghana and then Côte d'Ivoire. But the most serious one has to do with the Bia River.
The February 2022 Water Resources Commission data on turbidity levels for the Bia River measured 500 NTU or highly polluted at the Dadieso source point.
For rivers and water bodies, if you don't disturb them, they have the tendency to improve and restore their own ecological integrity. They can improve. That is, if you don't disturb. If we're able to do that without unnecessarily disturbing these rivers and allow them over a period of time, yes, we can try some chemical means, but the ideal thing is to just do not disturb them, for them to, as it were, to improve and refine themselves to be what they were before.
We traveled hours into the green forest area of Sefi-Dwaboso district to investigate the pollution of the Bia River. Our first stop was at Sefi Eliokrum, where a bridge is being constructed over the Bia River. The river looks good from this side.
Because of the cocoa cultivation here, we need the river to water our farms. When our taps are not flowing, we drink from it.
The chief of Sefi Eliokrum, Nana Ahoy Penny, explains why this part of the Bia is clean.
When polluted, it becomes red like the earth here. Because it's a river flowing through the forest, the dead leaves and shrubs give it a dark color when it is clean. Recently, it changed to a red color, and our checks indicated some illegal mining activities upriver. They mine in the river Saire, a tributary of the Bia, which is getting it polluted. I think they have stopped for days now. That is why it is clean.
But further checks along the flow path of the river revealed a dirty, polluted, and milky water. The search for the source of the pollution leads us to Mafia, a small town in the Sefi-Dwaboso district. Here, we meet two concerned residents who volunteer to lead us to a spot along the Bia River to show us the pollution levels. After a long walk, we see the free-flowing, milky, dirty river. The indigents, mostly farmers, speak of the negative impact of the pollution.
Our
forefathers cultivated the cocoa on the land. We young ones are now growing vegetables on the remaining land as our means of livelihood. We used to pump water from the Bia to water our crops, but with the advent of illegal mining, we can no longer use water from the river. Our crops die when we use the polluted water from the Bia River. My farm is just at the edge of the river, but I have to fetch water 2 miles from my farm to water the crops. This is where the whole Mafia town used to fetch water for daily chores, but now we can't. Because of the pollution, the mud fish we catch from the river is so dirty, we have to wash it with hot water before processing.
The source of the pollution of the Bia River was not difficult to find. A large, irresponsible mining enclave just at the edge of the town, one of the major sources of pollution of the Bia River. In the environmental degradation that has gone on here, it is difficult to identify the path of 3 streams that feed into the Bia River. The valley, which hosted some tributaries of the Bia, is now the source of illegal mining. Miners, mostly youth of the town and their leaders and Chinese nationals, were found busily at work. The Amoya, Munana, and Afuafu streams have been totally redirected and polluted by the illegal mining here.
And this is what remains of the Amoya stream. On the other side, the highly polluted water body over there is Afuafu.
The pollution here feeds directly into the Bia River.
They wash these things, it goes directly into what is left of the Amoya stream, and that tributary enters the Bia River, and that is how we have the milky nature of the Bia River as we speak. I don't think that these people know the effects of what they are doing here, but I'll try to find out. Boss, now you want to say? Now, unim say ni Amoya wa haya kobo Bia nsuo Bia num.
Behind the boom, but here kasa ana ede na yese no. Nsuo na kasa krepesa ka aka yonkwa aka so da ka mo anya dwuma ho but e de ni anu okrum. Iti adwuma di o ma ye di ai kakra be se be den. E be yin ska so ide de ahye won atodwa ne di no. Say the adwuma di ni ho nti na yese den e adwuma sa no.
So he's aware and he tells me that yes, he knows that what they are doing here enters the Bia River, but then they do not have any say. They are in here to do this, to make some money so that they can also survive.
Stephen Asante is the assembly member for the Mafia electoral area.
The whole place was a cocoa farm, but they cleared all the cocoa trees to mine here. The illegal mine is owned by a woman known as Akusia China. When we local leaders take steps to stop it, nothing happens, and the illegal miners come back to work. We are afraid of being attacked and killed, so we just watch and allow it go on. Though the galamsey in this place is illegal, when you report to the authorities, they come back.
The illegal mining business here is glaring and done boldly, difficult to escape the eyes of any authority. If this impunity continues, pollution levels in the Bia will affect agriculture and could sour diplomatic relations between Côte d'Ivoire and countries that rely on the water body to serve households. Ben Ampuma is chairman of the Water Resources Commission.
The Bia flows into Côte d'Ivoire and serves as water source for some of their major communities in terms of, treating and supplying. Now in 2017, our activities upstream respect to mining polluted the river to the extent that they could not treat the water. So they had to shut down their water supply systems. And that created some, what we hear, upheavals in terms of protests from the communities. They came over to us and we had some kind of engagements. And that is when the ban on illegal mining came. And fortunately, the rivers began to, restore their ecological integrity. Where we are now, the situation is coming up again. And if you look at the turbidity values of the Bia, getting over to the thousands, which means that it has the potential to create that level of pollution where they may find it difficult to treat their waters. And it's our only hope that we can begin to, as it were, address the situation to prevent the situation where we may have that potential, transboundary conflicts.
These miners are breaching Section 99(6) of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, as amended. It states that where a person mines with any method in or along the banks of a natural water body or the territorial sea of Ghana, he or she is liable upon conviction to a fine of 600,000 Ghana cedis to 1,200,000 or a term of imprisonment of 15 to 25 years or both. But many of these infractions go unpunished. These images of the wanton pollution of water bodies and destruction of forests across the country drew sharp reactions from leading stakeholders, including the Special Advisor to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Ben Ayi.
The critical thing really is we all have kept quiet. In fact, let me make reference to Asantini's statements last year at our Middle Belt Regional Dialogue. He did simply ask, is there any illegal mining that those of us gathered in that room didn't know about and didn't know who were behind? Indeed, we know. Some of us are complicit, we are benefiting from it. And some of us, we know, and we just keep quiet and suffer quietly. Fortunately, if we don't do something about it, it's going to destroy all of us. It is critical we get to understand that. We either swim together or we will all sink together.
When I see these things, I ask myself, who are behind this? Because we try to fight this cancer and it keeps going up. In my own area, people go there and dig haphazardly. They don't even know where the mineral is. No geological map. In my own town, he has the contract, all right. But he is buying almost every land from the landowners. I don't know whether the gold is embedded everywhere in the community.
The implication of these artisan miners, those with permits and those without permit, they both have no mercy upon our forests and our water resources.
They all questioned the hidden faces behind the destruction.
I can't buy excavator, but the ministers and the MPs, you can do that. So we are saying, you see, when I came here to sit down here, I asked myself, after all this, the time we spend, the money we spend for organizing this occasion, the BIS are doing now, so at long last, it remains there.
Most constitution no Emma Hokwan. Say Obi Bia, Madama, or ye galam say no, Yensia, ye chill. Hey, I can't know. Yana no Juma pa na ya we fuye everywhere. Na gala.
In the past, aside farming, the main occupation of our forefathers was mining. My grandfather, Kwame Danso, was mining on his cocoa farm and growing his crops on the same farm. Illegal mining came to fester because of you politicians. Today, our cocoa is being destroyed because of you. Our orange farms and forests have been destroyed because these miners come with licenses. So what power do I have over them? The man has come with a license and he has given jobs to my subjects. So if I prevent him from mining, it means I am denying people of their livelihoods and they will beat me. Any negative impact brought by illegal mining is the fault of politicians. Today, illegal miners are accompanied by soldiers and police. All our forests and even our sacred places have been destroyed. You say we have the right to the topsoil, but what lies beneath is for you. But you are destroying our water bodies. When you send the miners, you don't follow up. You send people to mine on our land. What do you expect us to eat?